Good morning from Subic Bay, honey. It's quite the early morning, although not as early as I feared it would have to be. I thought I'd need to be in the theater by 7:15, and I got back to my room and discovered, oh, it's 7:50. That's a little better, but I'm still trying to get myself started. Got back from breakfast now and just looking around at the place. Looks like we're going to be tendering in, which we've done this before. It's not a big deal. But I do still need to get myself put together. Fortunately, I already have a change of clothes, and yes, I've been told that's what I'm going to need for a spa day and hot springs and all that. Presumably this will get wet, and it's possible I might get muddy. Well, we'll see how this goes. It's a short day in some respects because we need to be back on the ship by 4:30. But since we're starting so early, it's still fairly long, and this trip is supposed to be strenuous. I have no idea how much of it I'm going to be able to film. I don't know how much I'll want to film. If I get a mud pack on me, that might make for interesting footage, but I don't know how easy it will be for me to shoot myself. And maybe I'm going to be so embarrassed I'm going to want to. But that's neither here nor there. Just giving you an introduction as to what we might see or might not. I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know what's going to happen until it does, and at that point it's almost too late. All I have to do is have the camera out. That's basically it. So, and I need to get going because I've only got maybe about 15 minutes to get downstairs and get waiting, although if I do that, I might be sitting there for another 15 or 20 minutes like we were last time. Still, we'll see how things go, and it really is nice out here. So, enjoy, and I'll show you around as soon as I can. Talk to you later. One problem about all this is that it's kind of hard to make your way onto the buses when everybody's busy rubbernecking at what's going on alongside. Now this crowd was beating the drums like mad earlier, but we got to get going, so don't really have the time to mess with this. Well, that was a bit of pleasant chaos, I suppose. We've got a long way to go, though. And so this is what they refer to as base camp. Quite the scene. I guess it goes a little further up the mountain with regards to some of its amenities, but we've gone quite a ways up as it is. That was a bumpy ride. Like I was saying, it's not, you don't fear for your life or safety necessarily, but it's that same sort of disquieting feeling like when you're on a roller coaster and you think you're going to lose something, you know, glasses are going to fall off, you're going to drop your phone or your towel or something like that. Well, not that I needed to change much, but did need to get out of those shoes and socks. But now I have no idea what I'm up against as far as what we're about to endure. Okay, we've got another jeepney ride further up the mountain for another half an hour. Oh boy. At which, there we go to the hot springs, then another ride to where the volcanic mud and the hot sands are. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but let's get on with this. I don't know if you can see it, but the flowers are coming down from the trees. Makes it look almost like it's snowing here. Maybe it's easier to see from this direction. No, maybe not. Interesting. There's a lot to take in here. Be it the waterfall back here. There's sort of hanging garden type of look to the place. And then there's the thought of what might be further on up. And we've gone far up enough as it is. Keep backing up as I'm doing that, and it's proving to be quite the challenge in itself. This is kind of wild. It almost looks like those mustard-off pools that Dr. Seuss had in Happy Birthday to You. And every time somebody gets into that one, some more spills over the waterfall and into this one down here. Just this great big series of pool and waterfall and pool and waterfall and waterfall, and really kind of impressive. And I haven't even gotten in yet. It's actually a bit of a surprise to step into this water and feel its warmth. Just as the creek runs by, you expect it to come from the mountains and be cold and brisk and invigorating. At the same time, it's not that it's unpleasant either. It's warm and soothing in its own way, which would probably feel better if it wasn't so warm beating down on my head from the sun. There isn't really a place here where you can sit and it's not insanely picturesque behind you. It's also a bit crowded and noisy, but you know, it's a tour, isn't it? All right, I've climbed up about as high as I think I can, because not all of the pools here are the same temperature. The ones I've been in have been what you might call lukewarm. The one here near the top is supposed to be the hottest. Here talk about 111 or something like that. So I'm gonna find out just how bad these things are. All right. All right. Gotta take a careful step. I knew that was gonna happen. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Oh. Where's the sun? The sun's kind of 107. That's what they say. Someone told me 111.
I don't know. At that heat, does it really make any difference? You're right. It is quite hot. It's.
Watch out.
I won't say too, but wow, it's.
That's too hot for me.
It is intense. I have to admit, as much as I like a warm bath, this actually does get to be a bit much. You almost wish for something a little cooler, just to refresh yourself. Because the weather is already kind of hot to begin with. This isn't refreshing. This is, I guess, meant to be therapeutic instead, which it may very well be, but wow. Had I brought you along, hon, this would be a great place for a little bit of you to rest, but since I've had some issues with filling out the customs declaration, although nobody's asked for it, strangely enough, I'm just going to hew to the letter of the law, and you're left on ship, which is fine because I have a change of clothes packed away, and that was all I could fit. And I've got that left behind at base camp, which is why I'm not really actually getting into the water that much. That and trying to hold the camera while I'm doing so has proven to be awkward at best. But I do have to show you just everything behind me here at Puning. It's just waterfalls and forest as far as I can see, and even back where we came from is just an enormous canyon of cliffs going in either direction. It really is quite the sight. But I will say, as one of my seatmates pointed out, there's a reason we don't eat before we come out here, because it is going to rock your stomach. It's hard to get an angle that's really catching the sweep of things, but I can't get enough of the background of this place. It is just beautiful here. And I'm sorry you never got a chance to see this, and yet at the same time, I'm not sure we would have sought it out. This is, honestly, I've kind of had enough of the pools. I don't think you'd be anywhere near ready to go by now. And that's the funny part about it. But I need to keep showing you this place, and I don't even know what to add to that. I don't know that I need to add anything to that. Aside from the fact that we've got a couple more stops to go to before we head back to base camp. And I'm not sure I'm even ready for those either. Well, we'll have to see. Here goes. Even the creek I'm standing in right now is warm. You'd probably find yourself underneath that waterfall using it like a shower or something like that. I wouldn't be remotely surprised, and I wouldn't blame you for it. But I don't know that I'm supposed to be here. I think we need to get going. And here we are at, presumably, the volcanic sands spa. I don't know what this is going to be like. We'll find out. As with the others, a spectacular view here, and quite a ways to go up to where we need to be. I feel like some kind of novitate in some weird religion, but see how this works. This is what it looks like.
No, it's our honeymoon.
Well, that was quite the experience. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of myself being... There we go. Don't have footage of myself being buried.
This is the pre-mud bath.
But it was surprisingly refreshing. It's like being bundled in a very heavy blanket that smells of sandalwood and flowers. And you can feel the blood pumping in your legs
And the feet.
and feet as the sand tries to find the lower levels. It's really quite an experience. Just takes a while to get all the sand brushed out of you. Thank you. I thought I needed to get changed out of this, especially considering that thanks to all that sand and the heat of the day, I've gotten a little sweaty, to say the least. But I guess there's one more treatment yet to go. The mud packs, which are supposed to be cooling, but I'm not sure how this is going to work as far as what I'm wearing and the fact that I need to see. I hope for my own sake, honey, that I don't look as ridiculous as I feel here. Okay, now I'm sure I look ridiculous. But it is cooling. It is somewhat soothing, apart from the fact that you've got somebody smearing this stuff all over you, like a cosmetic. And that goes for chest, thighs, legs, everything. It's just a little weird.
Happy times, take off clothes.
I am glad that I shaved this morning. I did skip a couple of days in a row there. So, better that it does this for my skin than for my beard. Anyway, I don't know how long I'm supposed to lie here, or when I should get up and go and wash this off.
It's like a sugar scrub.
Okay, now I get what she was saying about a sugar scrub. When the mud hits the sand, especially on your back, it does feel like an exfoliant process. Ooh, and that breeze is soothing, but I imagine it's drowning out anything I have to say, so I'll stop here. So apparently we're to ride back to base camp like this, and then wash up after that. And let the mud dry, I guess. I don't know. It feels really kind of weird this way. I mean, I was thinking that we were going to get buried in mud like we were in the sand, but I'm just as happy with this smeared on thing. Although now that I look at myself, I kind of look like an Aborigine. Much less tanned. Well, we made it back to base camp. I gotta wash off this mud. Ooh, boy. And we still have to ride that thing back. Well, it certainly gives a new meaning to washing up for dinner. Yep. Feel a lot better now that that's done with. Part of me wants to try and give you a postscript for today's trip, especially considering that I didn't have anything as far as interesting food to go over. Fairly basic stuff, to be honest. It's good, filling, and all that, but no more than if you were in the Windjammer, and probably a bit less, honestly. So, no point in making that a story. But then there's the question of what do you say to close this thing out, especially now that I'm all cleaned up and hopefully all the mud and dirt behind me, and maybe does my skin look better now? I really can't tell. Maybe it'll look better when I'm editing. Who knows? Anyway, it's been a beautiful day, but I think I'm ready to get going. So now I gotta hop on the jeepney for another trip, which is probably a whole other story in and of itself. I feel like I should close out the day with something a little meaningful, but I can't really think of anything. There's a sort of feeling like the closest thing I could think of was when I was trying to transcribe the events of the day. I know you would have leapt into a lot of this stuff with a lot more enthusiasm and energy than I did, but at least I want to say that I tried. If I channeled some of what you used to have, whether my skin is better off for it, maybe I am as a person, I don't know. And I want to think you were here with me even if I didn't bring you off the ship. So, thanks for that, and yeah, we'll never be back here again, I'm sure of that. There's so many other places to go, but at least we've been here, seen things, at least I have, and it'd be nice to think that you might have seen some of it through my eyes. So, anyway, we're on our way to Hong Kong next, so keep an eye on me and wish me luck. I'm gonna need it.